Well, hey everybody, this is Ashley with Publish with Ashley, and I am so glad to have you here. Sorry I'm not live, but instead I have an interview with Vicki today. She is one of our viewers, so I'm trying to kind of change up my YouTube and trying to interview you guys as people who watch and subscribe. Tell me your stories. So I have Vicki here, and she's going to tell me her story, her background, and kind of tell you what she's been doing. And you guys can totally be inspired by her KDP journey, and see that we're all trying to work together to learn and grow and really do something really maybe fun necessarily this program. Maybe it's about money for you, but maybe it's just about fun and doing something you really love. So Vicki, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us kind of a little bit of background, maybe how you got into KDP.
Thank you, Ashley. Thanks for having me on. Oh, well, my background, I've been selling on e-commerce. I started with Yahoo Auctions probably in 2001-ish.
Yeah.
eBay was too big for me. I didn't want to go there. But I did pretty well selling. I would get things like free after rebate, at Office Depot and all those. And I had a spreadsheet keeping track of the rebates, and I would get all this stuff free. And my husband said, "What are you going to do with this?" It's like, "I don't know, but it's free." So I started researching selling online and started selling on Yahoo Auctions, and that went well. And I eventually, I think it was 2002, I branched into eBay, and then 2006 or 2007 is when I started going to the eBay conferences. And I saw them on the news one night. I think it was when they had the one in New Orleans, and that might have been the first one, the first eBay live event or whatever. And it's like, oh, I want to do that. That one of these days I'm going to get there. And they were in Vegas. It's 2006 or 2007. And we were on the message boards back then. And so it was already an online community was forming. And I found a roommate over there and made plans and went to Vegas. And that was my first one. And I think maybe I missed one or two after that until last year. I was hardly selling on eBay at all. So and they raised their prices. So I did not go last year, but oh man, did I have FOMO by not being there. But yeah. Through that journey, I've met so many people that do what I do, and I've learned so much just from the conferences that we've attended, the tips you pick up there and the tips you pick up afterwards, talking and networking with other sellers. And I was telling you earlier, I used to go to ASD. Well, I still go to ASD, but they just haven't at ASD. I'm supposed to be there right now this week in Vegas. And Catherine Shelton has always done a class on publishing. And I probably sat in her first workshop maybe 4 years ago. And then 3 years ago, I actually paid attention, and I didn't have my laptop there, but I watched as she stepped everybody through, and then she handed out a worksheet to go home and try it yourself. So a couple months later, I made my very first book, and it's just a lined blank paper journal. I have used it a little bit. I use it for important notes. Well, what I'll do is if I'm going to a networking event, I'll take this, because it's my own personalized notepad. And
so was it exciting though? I mean, it was your first.
Yeah, and I told my daughter I'm the author of a book of blank pages.
But it's so exciting to hold something in your hand that you created. And,
I know. And I didn't even make it so I used white lettering so you can't even see my name or anything. It's like I, it was just for play. It was just for fun. But hey, I did it. And then I know it was 2018. I started a travel business and I was going to Cuba it was on a cruise and we had one day in Havana. And so I bought Catherine's Tangent template product and I was able to create a prompt journal and I called it Cuba Escapes My Day in Havana. And it's just I go the wrong way. It's a one or journal, mostly blank pages, but I did put a little bit of more thought into this one than the other.
Prompt books and stuff like that.
Yeah. But now this was in 2018 and I've learned a lot just in the last year or so. And so I'm definitely going to redo this book in the near future. And then my next book, I should show my newer version because this one I've filled up already. This one, I do a lot of journaling and writing. So I made this mainly for me, my own personal journal. And I have a Facebook group called Vision Board Amplify. And the book is called Vision Board Amplify. And it's based on my 2018 vision board. And on my new cover, I did some slick Photoshop and I made the 2018 say 2021 now. And it turned out really good. So I'm just going to update it every year. And
what I like about that is you were thinking not just, okay, a lot of people just want to put a journal out there or something, but you're like, I'm going to make a Facebook group and do something kind of fun and different and have a journey with people. And I think a lot of people who are doing this don't think that they can do that. And it is something that they can do.
Yeah. And I've made some really good friends, with the people that I've connected with on there. Granted, I don't have a lot of response. I think there's maybe 70 or 80 people over there, and I really only connect with 5 or 6. But hey, that's what matters. It's to me, it's the quality of the relationships and not quantity. But it's just a prompt journal of what was on my board. And I've ordered my second copy. It's around here somewhere.
Well, so tell us about your latest endeavor because
now we're to my latest one, and this new Clubhouse thing. I know you said you just got on it recently.
Just started, so I am a total newbie.
Yeah, well, I got on it 6 weeks ago. It was mid January, and
now.
Yeah, I know. And well, yeah, and I even wrote. I did a free PDF first because within an hour of taking notes, I knew I was going to be addicted to this. I found a really good room, and the content that was being shared, I don't know. It's like I just got it right away, and I'm like, I think this is going to be a big thing. And there were 1 million users on the system when I got in mid-January. The next week they announced 2 million users, and the end of February they announced 9 million users.
Yeah. So those of you who don't know Clubhouse or don't know what it is, because it is relatively new, it's kind of like, I want to say it's like a podcast radio chat.
Do you want me to read you what they're
calling it? Yeah.
What they call themselves?
Yes, that's great.
So in their own words, Clubhouse is an audio-based social media app. The company describes itself as a new type of social product based on voice that allows people everywhere to talk, tell stories, develop ideas, deepen friendships, and meet interesting new people around the world.
Yeah, and it is people around the world. Here, come here, Lex. You want to say hi to the people? Because she just can't stand it. This is Lexi. She's my littlest, and she just lost a tooth. So say hi real quick.
Lexi.
Say hi, and then go. I don't know. Find a sister. You have to have a sister to help you. Yes, please. Thank you. She was just gonna pester me until I actually talked to her. She'd be like, you'll be seeing me like, go. Sorry. Okay. So yeah, it's a. I guess it's a audio social media sort of. I've only done it a week. I can see how you can get very addicted to it. Like they have hour conversations with people like who are supposed to be speaking. They're experts, but they're like, I'm in my car, so hold on a second. It's very informal.
Yes, it is. And it's like, it levels the playing field. And like, you'll find yourself in a room. I was in a room the other day. There was only maybe 200 people in this room, which in Clubhouse terms, right now you can get up to 8,000 people in a room.
Wow.
So there was only 200 people in a room, and I was listening to this guy. It's like, man, that sounds like Les Brown. And it was actually his son. And then 5 minutes later, Les Brown is on and in the room. And I am constantly seeing his name in rooms all the time now, because you start following people. So every time they're on, you'll see like the rooms they're in will pop up. And that's how you curate your content, is by following people.
Oh, okay.
And then the rooms that they get in and the rooms that they speak in, if you follow certain speakers, then you'll know when they're speaking. And they're getting just as addicted as I did.
Okay, so tell me. So you were on Clubhouse. You saw this. It was a trending topic in this sense. So you decided, okay, I'm going to do something with KDP, create a book, and you started with a PDF. And how does that fit into your book? What is the book about?
Right. Well, this summer with you were in the same group. We were in a mastermind group with Chris Green, and he was teaching us on how to create a book, and how to come up with your first 10 chapters and all this. I probably have 18 outlines in my book of 10 chapters of ideas, but I just had not been inspired yet really to get started, and I had this tangent templates, but I hadn't really explored it. And every time they add new things, you just get it, you don't pay any extra. I totally, I highly recommend tangent templates to anybody. And so, all right, get back to my story. And so we took this course.
Huge glare.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Better.
Time to edit out.
No, it's fine. No, that's not better. I made it worse. Sorry, people. Oh boy.
You still have a glare.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Okay.
Oh, well,
that's better. Okay. Yeah,
yeah, that's better.
All right, we're back.
Yes. So I had all these ideas to do a book, but I just hadn't really been inspired to get started. So within an hour on Clubhouse, I'm already writing notes, and I'm taking all these notes. Well, I've showed you how I like to write. Well, I have this special notebook my daughter got me for Christmas, and it's like, this is going to be my Clubhouse notebook because it's special. And so I started filling it with all these notes and ideas, and it's like, oh my gosh, here's my book. I need a PDF first. I only need to start with 5 pages. So I'll get the basics put together, and I did a little bit of research. And the whole time I've got Clubhouse playing in the background, and I'll hear a little note. It's like, oh, I want to make sure I include that. I want to make sure I include that. So it was totally a beginner's version, but I picked out some really good gems, as I heard him come through. And so I did the PDF based on getting started with Clubhouse, because I had a few obstacles with storage on my phone, and it's iPhone only, and you have to have enough room on your phone to get the latest iOS update.
Right. And the PDF is kind of like the beginner's guide, to Clubhouse idiots, or
yeah. And then like the very last page of the PDF, I tell them my top 3 suggestions on how to get started.
Okay, great.
If anybody is interested in the PDF, I have it available. I set up a bit.ly link, and it's bit.ly/, Clubhouse is fun.
Awesome. And I'm going to have that in the show notes. So all
Yep.
this stuff and links for Vicki stuff, I'll have in the show notes, and I'll have all those links for you so you can check that out. But yeah, if you want to so the idea is, okay, so how to get started in Clubhouse was the PDF. So how does that work into your book, and what was your book about, and like, how are you trying to like,
well, and then the book, I go into more, more details. It's like 14 sections. Each section is only a page. It's one page of my thoughts, but it's a big page. Oh, see, I'm already writing.
Move it over just a bit so we can see, but
what? Oh,
that way.
There we go. So it's just a page, and then
so it's like how to jump into a room, and then
jump into a room, and then room topics. Follow the mods you like, and
okay, so this is a more in-depth thing than
like
the beginner guide. So starts you.
So giving them suggestions on how to get started, and then I have note paper in between, and where they can make notes as they're going along, and
yeah. I can see it being really helpful, because like I jumped on and I just started pressing things, and I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, so I can totally see why, like, and I'm a technical person. I don't get it yet. So I'm just kind of listening, but like, if I had a guide, something like that would tell me what I'm doing.
And like updating your bio and photo. It's not intended to sell from the stage. Some rooms are set up for that, but the majority of the rooms are not set up for that. They're for you to go in, and you can give a brief elevator speech on what you do, but how can you provide value to that room? Like, what are your skills? Like, what is something that you would do for free, and you would do it over and over again? And what can you, like, something that takes me 5 minutes to do, it could be holding them back in their business, because they don't realize that there's someone out there that could fix that problem for them in 5 seconds, and like, oh, buy me a drink sometime, you don't owe me anything. And so that's kind of the feel of the Clubhouse rooms over there. And there's many beginners rooms. There's always a beginners room going, and you can follow that topic. And that's one of the things I advise people when they get on new, when they're selecting their topics, is to follow the Clubhouse beginners. And these moderators will, there'll be 20 of them in a room at one time, and they'll take turns answering questions. And by doing that, you'll get to know the voices you like and the voices you don't like. There might be a few people you don't like, because some people kind of tend to ramble, and I try not to do that myself, but I do catch myself doing that sometimes. But
we all do it.
Yeah, but I was in such a good room, and they were giving such good tips, and that's where I got all my tips for my book was, like, update your bio. So, that's where I was going with that. So you don't sell from the stage, but anything you want to share, you just make sure you include it in your bio. And emojis are searchable. So, spice it up with emojis, emojis to tell. So people can go in, if they're looking for people that like to fly, they'll search for people with airplanes in their profile, or
really, okay, that's interesting.
People that like to read books, whatever, and then the same thing with clubs. Now, rooms, as of right now, rooms themselves are not searchable, but they have rooms and clubs. And so one of my sections is on that. What's the difference between a room and a club? I've applied for a club. However, there's been a waiting list. Well, they've gotten really backlogged until the end of January. It was run by 9 employees. And so this thing has just exploded. It's been in beta, and October, I believe, is when they first really started launching it and opening it up to the public. And then, like I said, went from 1 million to now 10 million. But so clubs, supposedly this week they're going to be to the point where anybody can just set up a club.
Okay, cool.
Past, it's been you had to apply for a club, and it took about 3 weeks.
And you have to be a moderator at once, or I heard something that you had to be like.
Well, you have to schedule and host 3 scheduled rooms.
Okay.
And I've heard they should be weekly, same time, same day, every week. I've heard that if you could, that doesn't matter, you can do it. Well, I did that. It's been over 3 weeks and I still don't have my club yet. So, and I've talked to people that applied before me and they still don't have their club yet. So
they're getting to that.
Get that together. But anyway, having a club you can follow clubs, and clubs are searchable. So you can search by emojis. So if you have a club, definitely use the emojis to describe, as well as words to describe what your club is about. And then people can follow your club, and they can create rooms in the club with the different club members, and they can make them public or private. But the admin the admin or the admins of the club they have to invite you into the club. You can follow, but be invited in. Some clubs invite everyone in. So
yeah, it just depends on what it is.
So you can set up your own exclusive club. And there's been talk. They have a town hall every Saturday or every Sunday telling people what's going on. Sunday mornings, 10 a.m. Mountain Time. And there's been talk that they're looking to monetize the platform, and most likely the clubs area will be monetized. So
yeah, I could see having an exclusive club, kind of like, they have exclusive YouTube channels and so I could see that.
Well,
especially it's the bigger names.
Like these Les Browns, the Les Brown coaching.
Yes.
I was in a room, because I follow him now, and I was in a room that he was in, and he did like a half an hour Ask Me Anything room. What people were coming up, and when it was over, the moderator of the room said, "Wow, do you guys realize this man charges $65,000 an hour for coaching?" And we got to listen to that. And what I find interesting is, it's like when I hear everybody's stories, I don't have to raise my hand and get up on stage and ask the questions, because I'm listening to these people. It's like, oh my God, yes, those are my questions. So you get into rooms where you take away a lot of value. So if you get in the right rooms, it's who you follow. You got to follow the right people.
All right. So with this, you're not just like, you have the PDF and that links, you have a book, the free PDF, and then you have your book. And like, how are you trying to because I know a lot of people they're interested in KDP with this channel, but how are you using KDP to do something a little bit more, a little bit different? Are you trying to, build a Facebook group with this? Like, what are you trying to do? I know you said you have a website. It's like crack.com. And so like, how does all of that fit together? I want people to see kind of at least.
Yeah, it's kind of a work in progress right now. So I'm just kind of winging it as I go. And I had this Facebook group called Hippie Doers. And so how Hippie Do ties together with this? Hippie Do is a private label brand that I sell hats on Amazon, and I have my Hippie Do hats. And Hippie Do is DEW at the end. And so I started this group called Hippie Doers about 4 years ago with no plan. I didn't know where I wanted to go with it. And so it came to me that Hippie Do is my Instagram ID, and Instagram and Twitter are the only 2 platforms that connect with Clubhouse. That's the only way that you can follow up with somebody after the fact, because you're in a room, it's all voice activated. There's no way to send text message or anything.
Right. Okay.
Hippie Do is my Instagram name and my Twitter ID. So I thought, all right, Hippie Doers Club. So I now have Hippie Doers Club. We're just getting started over there. And I did on page 1, on the section 1 of my book, I have a QR code and an invite for people to join the group. And the motto is, how can we make our world a better place? And whether that's your individual world sitting on the couch while you're home trying to stay safe from the virus, or whether you're out there traveling the world, whatever, how can we make our world a better place? And with Clubhouse being international, I co-moderated a room yesterday about traveling to Cuba. I have a travel business, so I have not been traveling myself. However, I'm hopefully going to be soon. And as the vaccination comes out and people are traveling more, we had a room talking about Cuba, and everybody's ready to go back and start traveling again. And so my Cuba book, it's like, all right, now I have more skills with tangent templates. Oh, and last week, I don't know if it's still on sale or not. It might have been in your group. Somebody said that Affinity Publisher was half price.
Yes, it is half price right now. So Affinity
I bought it.
Yeah, theirs is really, I bought all of them. I decided to buy the whole suite. So
I just bought Publisher, but for my main revision, it helped me so much, because I probably would have gave up if I would have had to do it the old way in Tangent templates, because Tangent, you don't have the flexibility to go in and edit your PDFs. And
right. Yeah, you can it's creative.
well, yeah. And as a newbie, I wasn't that creative. So I did buy that. And so in both tools, Tangent and Affinity Publisher, are less than $100.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Affinity Publisher is $24.99 right now. So if you guys, that's amazing.
So,
no, it's no subscription. So that may be people.
Yeah, and I'm sure it does a heck of a lot more than I even know that it can do. So if you do any trainings on that, I'm
learning it. So I'm literally learning it right now.
Okay, awesome.
I was looking at it the other day, and I just had to get over the stumbling block. It's actually fairly simple.
All right. If you need a beta test student, let me know.
I'm learning it. It really wasn't as bad. I was making it harder than it was, I guess. You're just like, oh, I can't do it. So I'll close my eyes and hope it. Anyway.
Yeah.
So what I like is kind of what you're thinking about is like connecting things. But a lot of people, when they do low content books, they think, oh, I can't connect it to something that I do. But I think the way to create a business, is to connect with your audience around certain things. And you can make low content books for your audience. Yours has a little bit of content, and then yours, I would say, is a medium, because you've got some pages and description, but then no pages.
Right.
And that's something that I think people can do, and then connect it to, Facebook page. Everyone always asking me how to advertise their book. And I was like, there's free ways to advertise out there. But it requires work, right? You have to connect to people and talk to them and find out what they want. And
right.
And we were talking about, so you did your book, your Clubhouse book, but you were saying that you're kind of like, now I've done it once, I want to make a new revision. So why do you want to do that? So tell me about
it. Well, I found a couple of errors, for one, and I wanted to fix those. Oh, and so my very first version is that's way too big. The writing is too big on the back. So I changed that up. And so I'd already made 1 or 2 changes when I had a coaching call with Chris Green. And he gave me some really good advice, and he gave me some excellent advice on the cover, because I was not thrilled with the cover that I chose. It's a cover of people in a club. It's like a nightclub, but it really doesn't give any idea that it's Clubhouse, the social media app.
And that's something to tell people that they may or may not know. You can change your cover, you can change the interior, but you can't change your title, subtitle, author name, or the size of the book. So if you
Correct.
were to change any of those aspects, you'd have to create a new one. But like if you just found an error on your cover or just wanted to change the cover, you
Yeah.
could do that.
Yep. So I completely changed the cover, and I have a service called, or it's an app called, I don't know, what is it? A platform, Place It, which you can do mock-ups, and I can go in and I can get a mock-up of an iPhone, and I could get my screenshot of any Clubhouse page and then upload that to the mock-up. And so that's how I created my next cover, and it's live as of today.
Awesome. Good. And that makes it more sense because it's an app that it's on a phone and it's a book about
Yeah.
an app.
And then I changed the tagline from "Welcome to the Club." It now says "Discovering Clubhouse Conversations." And I couldn't change this part in the subtitle like you said on the book, but I could change it on the cover. So
yeah, you can add like sometimes they're picky if it's not part of it, but a lot of times if it's just kind of color.
But it was the optional second line, so they approved it. So it's out there, and I'm going to order. I'm going to order author copies of that. I've ordered 2 today, and then if all looks well, I'm going to order like maybe 50 of them, and I'm going to use them like when I'm moderating a Clubhouse room. And
Is that me? I don't think it's me. Is it? Oh, I know it is. I'm just kidding. It's me, but don't worry.
Yeah. Or I can put it like when I'm ready. Right now, I'm not really concentrating on growing an email list because I'm terrible at doing emails with people. But I am working to build my Facebook group because I would like to build. I want to have a place where the conversation can continue after the Clubhouse room ends. And if you have links you want to share with people, you have a place to go over there. And I want to create a community over there. So that's my goal. And as a travel business owner, I hope to one day like put an event together where, maybe we can do a mission trip somewhere and, spend a week helping out somewhere and then another week enjoying wherever we're at. So that's the kind of things that I can see this leading to.
Yeah, well, and I love that because I love that. What I love about KDP is that there's no wrong way to do it. There's no one way to do it. There's so many ways to do it. It's all about you, your situation, your own creativity. And I love that you took a trending topic. I'm terrible at trending topics. But I love that you took a trending topic and tried to make it into a book. And then you're like, oh, I don't like this one, so I'm going to make it better. The next version is going to be better, and we can do that. We can get better and change.
From 1 hour of getting on the system, within 10 days, I had this book in my hand.
Yeah. I mean, that's amazing. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think, and too, if people are always wondering what trending topics, if they're a trending topic follower, what's trending, Clubhouse is a good way to find that too. So if you guys aren't on Clubhouse and can be, maybe that's, if you're like, I don't know what trending topics are. Clubhouse, I think there's a little section that says trending topics, right?
Yeah.
You
there
can
you go.
listen to a room for an hour or two and see what's trending. And then you can be like, oh, maybe I can make a book about that to help guide people through it. Do a little
and then I bought the domain it'slikecrack.com. Because to me, that's what it felt like, and that domain was available.
Yes, I know. Many people are saying Clubhouse; they just get addicted to it. I can see that.
Yeah, so I bought it. Oh, and I even have a logo for it, and I made a T-shirt design and everything.
Well, that's cool. I like that one. See, there's so many fun things you can do, and I love that. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and so I've just been having fun with it. If it ain't fun, I ain't doing it.
Well, it's about 34 minutes. So is there anything else you want to share with everybody just to kind of close out, or anything else you have for those watching?
There is a learning curve, but it's possible. there's tools out there that make the job easier. Like I said, that $26 purchase of Affinity Publisher made my revisions that, oh, just go like that. And then it gave me the idea to redo this Cuba book, make it better. And even though I'm just doing these for myself now, I'm letting people know when I talk to people, and when I talk to people on Clubhouse, it's like, have you thought about writing a book? You know, I can help you with that. So
I can help you with that.
yeah, I can help you with that. Yeah. And then I'll invite them to, you know, I have several different Facebook groups, even other than the ones that I mentioned. And, you know, I can send them there like, hey, if you want to learn how to do it yourself, go here. If you're more interested in me doing it for you, let me send you, you know, some ideas on, you know, moving forward from there. So you can either pick people up, and a lot of times the people that follow you as the people that want to do it themselves never do it themselves.
They don't. Like I was talking to Tammy, and she's doing KDP with a twist, and I love that. I've been trying to do that, you know, and help other people. I help anyone. Honestly, I love to do this, so I help all sorts of people. But yeah,
what you would do
it themselves.
Yeah, what you would do without getting paid for it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that was so awesome. I'm so happy to have you here, Vicki, and come on and tell about your journey and how everyone's journey is a little bit different. And I love that. That's why I love this platform. I love that there's so many interesting and just fabulous people out there and each has their own unique story. And I totally love that. Yeah. So thanks for being on.
You're welcome. There's a lot of opportunity with KDP and a lot of opportunity with Clubhouse, both.
Yeah. Yeah, there is. And together too.
Yes. Yes. Awesome. And then combining them together. I don't know if books are out there now, but that day I searched and there was only 2 that day.
And like you said, as you learn more, you'll get better and the platform will develop and you can add things or new revisions and stuff like that. So there is always opportunity out there. Don't think just because someone else has done it doesn't mean there's.
Yeah. And even though I've had 6 revisions already, it still has the published date of January 30th. So it goes back to that original date.
That's awesome. Well, everyone, if you want to get in touch with Vicki, check out the show notes. We'll have links and that sort of thing to her Facebook groups, her the free PDF and that sort of thing. And you can see she's at Vicki Conley on Clubhouse. So if you're on Clubhouse, follow, check. It's follow, right? That's how you find people. So
yes, yes. And if anybody needs an invitation, I mean, I'm on your Facebook group too. I'm over there. If they want to hit me up for an invitation, I generally have extras. So
awesome.
They're selling those on eBay.
I know. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being here, and bye, you all. We'll see you in the next video. I won't be live again next week, but I will have a video with a taped interview with Nuria from the Home Boss. So I'm excited to see you all and then. All right. Thanks. Bye, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.